Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is SCV Rush from the UEN.com giving you guys a Terran build order today. Today I'm going to be showing you the Thor drop build order for Terrans, and the Thor is one of my favorite unit out of all the units of Terrans, and I'm definitely very interested in casting this game. And also the players are going to be TLO and Daimaga, both very high level players. So this build order definitely works for all skill levels. This build order is usually very good on large maps where Zerg could easily fast expand and things like that. So this builder is basically a very easy way to counter Zerg fast expansion, because if the Zerg can get that expansion up really easily and macro up, you are going to be at a very big disadvantage mid game. So the builder is actually very simple. It's going to be very standard: supply depot at 9 and then barrack at 12. As you guys noticed, Blizzard released the 1.2 patch note, not the patch but just patch note yesterday, and basically to build a barrack you actually need a supply depot, which is it's a requirement. It's to prevent people from doing early repurchase, which is really effective against Zerg and Protoss. So this is going to be probably the standard builder. Okay, so after he construct the barracks, he builds a refinery at 13, and he gets the over command when the barracks finishes. So this is a pretty standard build order. Once the Terran scout the Zerg fast expand, which is he's about to do right now, then he can decide what type of strategy he's gonna do. If the Zerg doesn't expand, he might go for a more defensive play for stopping Mutalisk or maybe Baneling Bust. If he's expanding, then the Terran could go for a Banshee Rush or a Viking harassment, or a Thor drop. So this is all pretty standard. Once he scouts the enemy, the enemy's expansion, then he can really do something else. Right now you can see that his gas is almost at 100 or 104, and he's gonna put down his factory very soon, and that will allow him to get the Thor pretty quickly. So his spawning point just finished. The Zerg builder is actually very slow. It's the 14 hatch 13 pull, I believe, and that is a very strong macro build. So this builder is very effective in stopping an early Zerg expansion, because the Thor itself is a very high damage unit, and it does 46 DPS for a single unit, and that's about 8 Marine worth of damage on one unit. So that's a really powerful unit if you have a strategic location. And if you could just land right here or land behind the mineral line, like right here where the Zerg is hard to get to, you're gonna do a lot of serious damage to the Zerg player, and you can 3-shot a queen in less than about 2 seconds. So that's really effective. And one of the key things about this build order is that you cannot let the Zerg player scout you, because if the Zerg sees you go for the armory, then he's definitely going to build a lot of defense everywhere around his mineral line, and there's really not much you can do at this point. Then you probably lost the game because you committed so much to this resource to this build order. So right after you finish the factory, he built a Hellion to harass the enemy, just to scout what the Zerg is doing. He might be doing some kind of Baneling Buzz. His expansion might not be an expansion, but just as a production unit, things like that. So you built the armory right after the factory, and then you build the starport right after the army when you have 100 gas, and that will allow you to have a smooth transition. You don't want to build the starport first, because armory takes 65 seconds, starport only takes 50, and he's saving up enough for a Thor. So you build a Thor and then you build a medvac. The Thor takes 60 seconds, the medvac takes only 42, so he's gonna build it very soon. Yep, he builds it right now, and they're both gonna come out about the same time to allow you to do this type of drop. The Zerg player is actually not aware of what the Terran is doing. Let's see, he does not actually see any of this, and that's really important. You do not want the Zerg player to see you. A lot of times the Zerg player likes to put an Overlord here and then sacrifice Overlord to see some of the tech buildings that the Terran has. That's why TLO is so brilliant putting the armor right here, which is very difficult for the Zerg player to scout. And he's pushing out with some of his Marines, knowing that the Zerg doesn't have sight on the Zelnaga tower, and he sees this, he's gonna go kill the cream tumor. That's really really interesting. And also you can just cancel the creep tumor and you'll get that creep tumor back, which is what Daimaga did, which is really interesting for any Zerg players watching this. So the Thor is gonna drop right here, around here, and kill anything that's on this ledge. And you know, a Thor actually kills a queen in 3 shots. So that's what I'm talking about earlier. You cannot let the Zerg player scout this. If he scouts this, then he's gonna put too many spine crawlers here that will disallow you to actually attack anything. So you can see that this Thor just took down 2 spine crawlers, no problem, by himself. He's gonna be able to shoot the hatchery from here. So one way for the Zerg player to stop this is maybe build the hatchery a little on the side. I'm not sure. But overall, if you don't scout a fast tech Thor drop like this, then it's pretty much over for a Zerg player, because he's gonna lose his hatchery. He probably doesn't even see this. Oh, he does see it, but he can't really attack it. He has a mule down here, and he's gonna repair that Thor. The Thor has 8 kills, does 60 damage a shot, and Daimaga just calls GG immediately, because really, if the Zerg player loses expansion, he just pretty much lost the game. You can see that TLO also has his own expansion, and he has a Viking to hunt down the Overlord to stop any type of map control by Daimaga. So if you guys have any questions on this build order, you can go to our forums, sign up on our forums where we answer detailed questions about any build order or strategies. So that's about it, folks. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to our channel, and this is SCV Rush signing off.